Mercedes had another difficult race in Miami, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel. It's the final race before a big update is implemented. Toto Wolff, the team principal, sees it as a reset following its troubles since the ground effect laws were implemented. Meanwhile, while Mercedes is hopeful about what is being referred to as its new baseline, its lack of knowledge of the reasons for its Miami issues raises more doubts about whether it is truly on top of its problems. They seem to be experiencing disappointment after disappointment. We'll explain why you shouldn't be excited about the Mercedes Italian improvement today, how James Allison became Mercedes' second pick to lead the technical department, and why things aren't looking bright for 2024. Even if Mercedes has changed course and its Imola package is operational, can it truly catch up after losing so much ground in the previous year? Mercedes started off promisingly in Miami with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton first and second in FP1, but it swiftly descended into the team's worst weekend of the season, beginning with troubles in the second free practice session. Lewis Hamilton is delighted by the prospect of additional upgrades at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in 2 weeks. Hamilton and Mercedes have started the season slowly and do not look to have closed the big gap to Red Bull, which won last year's championship. Mercedes struggled to adapt to the new regulations, which went into effect at the start of 2022, and Hamilton failed to win a race last year for the first time since his F1 career began in 2007. He now sits fourth in the championship, trailing the two Red Bulls, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, as well as Fernando Alonso. After the race, the 38-year-old remarked about new advancements, stating, "I've been counting down the days." The 2-week break between Miami and Imola allows teams to gather and create new car parts. Before traveling to Asia for the Singapore Grand Prix, we have 9 European races. Mercedes is one of many teams who will be testing new parts in effort to get more speed out of their car. "I'll find out this week what we're expecting," the 7-time champion said. "We'll see what kind of trajectory that puts us on. But I'm really hoping that it helps us take a step forward. I think others might bring upgrades as well, so it will be really interesting to see where we are with the lay of the land. But yeah, I'm excited." Unfortunately for Hamilton, his team supervisor is not as enthusiastic about the modifications. Mercedes is on the way. Since 2022, before the first race under the new technical regulations, Toto Wolff has been bullish on Mercedes vehicles. He made bold claims about the car's incredible speed. For the first preseason test, they even kept the zero-pod concept a secret from the other teams. That self-assurance was misplaced, wasn't it? Since then, he's often stated that the team will improve with each update. But they never have. The car has stopped bouncing, but otherwise nothing has changed. However, the Imola modifications will be significant. The most significant redesign of a car since the new laws went into effect. Wolff said, "I think we're chasing downforce and we're trying to do the best possible job in terms of the mechanical platform. What we're doing is we're introducing a new bodywork. We're introducing a new floor and we're doing a new front suspension. And that's a pretty large operation, large surgery." The new bodywork mentioned by Toto is believed to represent the end of the zero-pod concept. This season, the team has discussed getting rid of it several times. So, I believe Miami was the last time we saw what some analysts called as one of the most creative and imaginative design choices Formula One has ever seen. Even those who are paid to do this work. It is sometimes incorrect. Toto is clearly informed. His takeaway from making aggressive assertions about Mercedes' work in the factory. He has warned Mercedes to temper their expectations with the avalanche of new parts about to hit the cool two-way market in the 2023 season. "I have never in my 15 years in F1 seen a silver bullet being introduced where suddenly you unlock half a second of performance. So I very much doubt that this is going to happen here," the Austrian said. "What I'm looking forward to is that we take certain variables off the table where we believe we could have introduced something that we don't understand in the car and go more to, let's say, a stable platform." I hope Lewis isn't overjoyed, since Toto certainly isn't. The purpose of the improvement is not to take on Red Bull. The goal is to provide a car with which the Mercedes team can work, when they can evaluate, enhance, and improve these technical regulations for the rest of their lives, something they haven't been able to do for the last year and a half. You'd think it's a good thing for the team. After all, having an automobile that they can enhance would be a major step forward for them. Even having a car they can set up for a weekend of steady running would be huge right now. However, The last year and a half has taught us that Mercedes does not grasp the new Grand Fat cars, which would ordinarily be a fascinating improvement by reworking the floor, front suspension, and overall aero design. So you could argue that there are no silver bullets in Formula One. But as I mentioned a few days ago, this many adjustments could make a silver magazine, and they could actually gain half a second. However, this is not your typical upgrade. In fact, calling it an upgrade may be misleading. This is a secondary grade for Mercedes. An update suggests that the team knows how it will improve the car, but according to Toto interviews, they don't know what it will do, only that it will provide a better platform from which to upgrade. So not only are the Imola side pods unlikely to help the car in any way, but they may actually make it more difficult for the team to prepare for 2024. The improvements should put Mercedes on the right track with a car that has the capacity to compete with Red Bull. However, numerous significant obstacles must be overcome before it is achievable. Mercedes is making so many changes to their vehicle that much of the data from before Imola is now invalid. They'll need to run numerous races to assess the alterations to the car on various types of tracks before they can begin to plan the following steps. Even if Mercedes' new parts perform as predicted and provide the team with a steady platform to study and improve, the team will be nearly a year and a half behind Red Bull in terms of data. That is really dangerous, in case you didn't know. That data disparity is likely to appear considerably worse when you consider 2024, which is realistically Mercedes' earliest chance to rival Red Bull for race wins. Even so, it's a long shot. Red Bull is currently so far ahead of the competition that they may be able to transfer their focus to 2024 rather fast following the summer break. It's a safe bet that no one will catch them before then, and they'll almost certainly have both championships wrapped up by then. Mercedes, on the other hand, will still need to collect data and make improvements to the new automobile. After all, they have a massive data deficit that needs to be made up. Furthermore, Red Bull has spent a year and a half optimizing the floor and side pods. Mercedes is only now beginning that procedure. So, while this side grade may be a nice beginning position for the team, it's only because everyone else started there last season. The negative news for Mercedes does not end there. Mercedes-Benz has made changes to their technical department in an effort to revitalize a design staff that has struggled with the new standards. As part of that, Mike Elliott was replaced by James Allison as technical director. But he wasn't even the team's first choice. Toto Wolff allegedly had one of his colleagues call Adrian Newey in an attempt to entice him to join Mercedes. Newey is largely responsible for Red Bull's superior success. According to an F1 insider, Mercedes were extremely keen on luring him over to Brackley as they attempted to turn that deadly W14 into a race winner. Mercedes even approached the design genius just weeks before he pledged his future to Red Bull. Shortly before Red Bull's mastermind Adrian Newey extended his contract with Red Bull a week ago, claims a publication. He received a phone call from a former Red Bull employee who is now one of the personal assistants for the Mercedes team boss and shareholder Toto Wolff. On behalf of her boss, the lady tried to lure the top-class aerodynamicist to Mercedes. Newey, however, declined with thanks and preferred to commit himself to Red Bull for another year. As much as many Mercedes fans are delighted to have Allison back in charge of developing the team's vehicles, it appears that Toto Wolff does not have faith in Allison's ability to do so. Something Helmut Marko was quick to point out. Mr. Wolff does not appear to have complete faith in his own personnel to repair the car's flaws, he claims. Mercedes has had a difficult season, and despite the hope that things will improve in Italy, it's difficult to see anything occurring quickly, and I doubt James Allison will be pleased to find he was Toto's backup choice. Do you think I'm being overly pessimistic about Mercedes' planned upgrades? Is everything going to be as horrible for the team as I fear? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for viewing, and I hope to see you again soon.